Hello, everyone. In this session, we will understand the configurations required to implement plant maintenance or field service requests. The agenda for this session will be the use case where this field service implementation is applicable for both field service requests and plant maintenance. We will cover both use cases. Then in this session specifically, we will cover the parts of the basic setup, the modules that are required, and the important notes to consider when implementing field. Let's first understand the use case, which is for the field service request or a field service management. The use case for the field service management is when a customer has reported a complaint. In this use case, we are taking an example of a repair industry that is in the service business and provides services to coffee houses for repairing their machines. In this specific use case, a customer or a client of that service industry raised a complaint about a coffee machine that has some problems related to the flow of coffee. The service company then received the request, raised a request in the system, and sent a technician for inspection as well as for troubleshooting or rectification of the problems. Upon reaching the location, the technician found out that he had to add a spare part as well when performing the request. The spare part is a consumable that may be required in order to complete this request. That could be a filter, a SKU, or other specific parts. After completing the task, the technician learned that he had to add another task or another follow-up task also for this request, so the other technician can come and complete this activity. He added the task and reshared the quotation with the customer. That can be achievable from the mobile application. We will see how we can configure this with this set of videos. Then another technician will reach the location the next day or the same day to complete the task with some other spare parts. In this way, they have added multiple spare parts into one field service request. That part is also covered. After doing all the jobs for that particular request, the technician confirms the request with a one-time password that the customer receives on an email or a mobile. Then, after confirmation, the technician raises the invoice to the customer. This is a typical use case for field service management. Another use case where we can use field will be plant maintenance. For example, in this case, we are taking an example of a manufacturing industry where a compressor is being used. This is a single compressor. The industrial compressor is under breakdown. The business user is the one who is using the output of the air compressor, or may be part of the compressor's operations team. They have reported a complaint that the compressor is having some problems related to the pressures. Then the team received a notification and sent a technician for the inspection as well as for the rectification of the problem. At this point, they could also know that they have to install a new filter, or they can decide when they are reaching the site. When the technician is on the location, he learns that he has to add a pressure valve also for that task. After the completion of the task, the technician realizes that he has to add another follow-up task that another technician can complete. Other technicians also revisit the site the next hour and complete the follow-up task along with the new spare part. In this use case, you can also see that multiple spare parts have been installed. After that, the technician confirms the request, and the supervisor completes that particular work order and informs the operations team of that industry. These are both use cases where field can be used. Now we will see the implementation part. We will understand the different parts that we have to cover for the implementation of field. In the basic setup, there are a number of items. In this specific session, we will cover the modules required and the important notes. We will cover the rest of the parts in separate videos. Let's go to the first one, which is the modules required. These are the list of modules that are required for field. There are a few important notes in order to install these modules. All modules should be installed with the latest version. All modules will be installed in this specific sequence only. If you are implementing the standalone field, you will receive all these modules along with the instance already being installed, but if you are taking the field package, please make sure that these modules must be installed, and they should be available with the latest version only. There are a few important notes that you have to take care of while implementing the field solution. After the installation of all the modules, you have to run the sequence check. This is a process that is available from the system administrator role when you log in with the super user. You can ask the Onfinity team or Field I team to run this sequence check after the installation of all modules. Then there is a verification of the web configuration that you have to do on this specific folder, where all the files are posted on your IIS. This is the configuration that should be as it is. For the live market, there should be an L always, or for the sandbox market, there will be an S. So, whenever we are giving the instance to the customer, there will always be an L on that, which is for a live market or production market. Okay, then there are the push notifications on the mobile application. We are using the mobile application for field. On this mobile application, we are receiving the push notifications. In order to configure those push notifications, you have to enable those push notification settings on the mobile. I will also show you where you have to enable this on the system. Then the second part. You have to add these notes also in the web config files where you have hosted this particular instance. If you hosted the instance locally, you do not have to worry about it if Field is doing this hosting for you. We will do this by ourselves, and the app will receive the notifications accordingly. So, I will quickly show you the checkbox that you have to enable to choose which user will receive the notifications on the mobile. I will now return to the system. To perform the settings, go to the user screen, which is User Management. For that particular user, you will see a checkbox called Enable Push Notifications. You have to enable this checkbox if you wish for this user to be notified via push notifications on their mobile application, whether they are using the iOS or Android version. You will receive notifications on both if this setting is enabled. This setting is also available on a different screen, which is called Mobile Support. In this Mobile Support, whatever device is connected, there will be an ID for this device, like this iPhone is connected with this user. Then there is a checkbox again, so this can be enabled from any of these both places, from the user management as well as from the OS port. These are the second important notes that you have to take care of when you are implementing the field setup. Thank you for attending.